At 37 years old, Jason Arday reached a historic milestone. He penetrated the elite, traditional world of Cambridge University to become its youngest Black professor. It was a remarkable achievement on its own, but even more so given that Arday remained nonverbal until he was 11. But in August 2026, Arday suddenly resigned amidst allegations of plagiarism. Days later, he was found dead at a home in London. To understand the pressure he faced, look at the timeline mapping the media coverage. In a span of just 22 days before his death, news outlets published 249 distinct articles dissecting his academic credentials, his childhood, and his character. The university's chancellor, Chris Smith, publicly condemned the coverage. He stated that while academic integrity matters, the public and the press had engaged in what he called a racist feeding frenzy. A plagiarism dispute in academia usually stays within a faculty committee. Lee has to ask how a standard dispute over citations mutated into a lethal, highly coordinated media hit job. A shadow network specifically targeted Arday to drag 18th century eugenics into the 21st century. The smear campaign against Arday was instigated by Nathan Coffness, a self-described race realist. Coffness weaponized plagiarism claims, framing Arday's appointment as proof of a dangerous DEI ideology at Cambridge. Coffness does not operate alone. His attack connects to a broader organizational ecosystem, spearheaded by a Danish researcher named Emil Kierkegaard, who runs the central research arm of the secretive Human Diversity Foundation. The core thesis of the Human Diversity Foundation is a systematic attempt to link race and genetics directly to intelligence and violent behavior. They publish their findings in journals with polished academic titles, producing charts and datasets that look rigorous at first glance. But underneath the academic formatting, the output is modern eugenics propaganda. This network's objective is not academic rigor. They exist to manufacture pseudoscientific proof that justifies purging minority scholars from universities entirely. A fringe group pushing discredited biology shouldn't have the power to execute a media hit job. They acquire that power through financial infrastructure. Tech entrepreneurs like Andrew Conroe have quietly channeled over $1 million in funding directly to the Human Diversity Foundation. The foundation operates in close proximity to massive tech wealth. Kierkegaard claimed that in 2019, Peter Thiel flew him to Silicon Valley for private discussions. Armed with tech funding, the network gathered evidence using illicit methodology. Undercover recordings reveal illegal access to the UK Biobank, a restricted database containing private genetic records of 500,000 British citizens, donated strictly for public health research. On a video call hosted by Kierkegaard, members of the group boasted about downloading this restricted 300-gigabyte dataset to hunt for genetic racial differences. By combining Silicon Valley dark money with stolen national health data, this network built a weaponized operational infrastructure, neatly disguised as a harmless academic think tank. The group's tactical playbook is highly focused. They systematically scour published work of Black academics, searching aggressively to find any citation error or methodological flaw. There is a clear, systemic double standard at play. When a white academic makes a mistake or is accused of plagiarism, it is treated strictly as an individual failing. It rarely makes national news. But when a Black academic makes a mistake, this network weaponizes that error. They broadcast it as absolute proof that entire minority groups do not belong in academia. The universal language of academic integrity is being hijacked. It serves as a bad faith Trojan horse, allowing a targeted racial purge to masquerade as peer review. This relentless tactic takes a severe psychological and physical toll, especially on neurodivergent individuals like Jason Arday. The tragedy was compounded by the failure of the institutions around him. Psychiatrists diagnosed him with personality disorders in the pages of a newspaper without ever meeting him, and his university failed to recognize the bad faith nature of the campaign and protect their scholar. The Arday affair serves as a siren for higher education. Institutions must learn to differentiate genuine academic critique from well-funded pseudoscientific harassment. If universities fail to recognize this modern eugenics playbook, the final cost will be measured in the actual lives of their scholars.